An inside look at high school sports in Branch County. This is the Coach's Corner on AM 1590 and FM 95.5 WTVB.
It is Coach's Corner on a Friday, brought to you by Great Lakes Chiropractic. And we continue kind of getting into the new 26-27 high school sports season. Just getting underway in a lot of sports. And Coldwater Tennis was one of those as they got off to a great start. Well, a good start, I guess you could call it. Thrilling start, let's say, the other night with their first win of the season. We're joined by Coach Nathan Waterbury. And first of all, Coach, how was your summer? How did you handle the kids? What did you guys get done?
It was a good summer. The tennis program, we really focus on the month of June. We spend a lot of time out on the courts. We had pretty good participation. All that stuff in the summertime is optional stuff. The kids don't have to be there. They've got jobs, other sports, family vacations. But all in all, for the most part, the turnout was pretty good. So we get out there 2-3 days a week during the month of June and really have a chance to work on some technique because once you get going during the season, you're working more on putting lineups together and things like that. So the summer is a great time to work on some of those foundational skills that really improve the kids' games.
And then you start the season off the other night against Three Rivers, a 5-3 win. And you've got to tell me about Kush Patel at number 2 singles, the match he had that kind of sealed the win for you. That was like a marathon for high school. He ends up winning that third set 12-10. And I would imagine he was probably the only one left playing at that point.
He actually wasn't. He actually moved through his first couple sets pretty quickly. And so there actually were a couple matches going on. Joe Searles had a pretty long match going at 1 singles. I believe our 3 doubles was also playing at that point. So it was kind of hard to follow what all was going around because I was watching all 3 matches. But Kush was down 9-4 in the third set and came back and won, I believe it was 8 of the last 9 points to steal that win to get us our 5th point of the match to secure the victory for us. So that's just an awesome comeback that you don't see those types of wins too often. So I was really proud of him because he's one of those kids who was out there all summer long working on his game. So I was real happy for him.
And confidence-wise, that's got to be huge to know that he's never out. Huge. And honestly, I've seen comebacks from him before, whether it's a rough first set for him, kind of like on Tuesday. I've seen that in past years out of him. And he's one of those kids that he's never going to quit. He's got one of the best attitudes on the team in terms of never going to give up, always going to fight till the very last point. And that's kind of what we expect out of him as a senior. And it's great for all the other kids to see him go out there on the court and play with that type of attitude. And even the matches that you dropped against Three Rivers, your kids were really competitive in those as well.
Yes. Joe Searles at 1 singles. 1 singles is a tough flight. He ended up falling in a third set. But he's going to be playing the best player that every school that we play against, the best player that they have. That's a real tough thing for him. Logan Fisher didn't play his best match at 3 singles, but he's a senior now. We know that he will respond. And our 3 doubles, Spencer Odell and Nolan Winwright, that was their first varsity match of the season, and they were right there with it until the very end. So really proud of everyone on the team, their effort on Tuesday night.
Well, we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about some of the kids you've got playing for you this year. We just mentioned some of them. We'll come back and talk about some more and look ahead to what lies in store for the Coldwater tennis team as they get ready to start in conference play a little bit later this fall. As always, the Interstate 8 is very tough conference to compete in, and we'll talk to Coach Waterbury about that when we return. Coach's Corner on a Friday, brought to you by Great Lakes Chiropractic on AM 1590 and FM 95.5 WTVB.
These area businesses join WTVB in supporting this year's Quincy Days Festival, Friday and Saturday in Quincy. For quality auto repair on most any make or model, see TNA Auto Repair. With over 50 years combined experience, Will, John, Gary, and Tyler are licensed and insured to offer the right repair the first time. TNA Auto Repair, just west of Quincy on US 12. Midwestern Realty Group in Coldwater. Local people, local knowledge, and committed to our local community. Call Midwestern Realty Group today or go online to MidwesternRealty.com and let's talk. If you have a crunch with your car's bumper, your next call should be to Quincy Collision. They can fix those crunches, dents, dings, and maybe even your driving reputation. Quincy Collision on US 12 on the west edge of Quincy. And don't miss one of the biggest celebrations of the summer, Quincy Days, this Friday and Saturday in downtown Quincy. See the full schedule of events at quincy-mi.org.
And we are back. It is Coach's Corner here on a Friday as we get all geared up for the weekend. We're talking with Coldwater tennis coach Nathan Waterbury, and we talked about your season opening win against Three Rivers the other night and some of the kids that you've got playing. I can tell by talking to you, you really like your team this year.
Oh, I love them. We've got 6 seniors on the varsity, so those kids have been with me for 4 years. Some of them I've known for longer than that. But we return our top 3 singles players, as I mentioned, Joe Searles, Kush Patel, Logan Fisher. So those guys have played a lot of varsity matches. And Caden Burtz is stepping in at 4 singles, making the switch from doubles the past 2 years over to singles this year. He's a junior. So really proud of those 4 because, singles is a lot different than doubles. More challenging because you're out there on your own, but really proud of them for all the work that they put in. They deserve to be in those spots.
And then you've got your doubles teams, like Clayton Bustos and Krish Patel. They played number 1 doubles. Number 2 is Grant Miller and Anthony Stevens. Then you've got your number 3 doubles, Spencer Odell and Nolan Winwright. And then number 4 doubles this year, you're playing Brent Wishmeyer and Mason Motes.
Yeah. So some of those guys got their first varsity experience the other day. Mason Motes, he's a freshman. Bear's been on the JV team the last couple of years. As I mentioned, both of our 3 doubles players played their first varsity match the other day. And then, we've got some experience at 1 and 2 doubles, but Anthony at 2 doubles, he's making the transition. He was a singles player last year, making the transition back to doubles. That's not always easy. But then we've got Grant Miller. He was on varsity as a freshman last year, real solid player. And then a lot of experience at 1 doubles with Krish and Clayton, who are phenomenal players, and we expect them to have a really good year at 1 doubles this year.
And anybody that follows the I-8 it knows it doesn't matter what sport we're talking about. There's always some really good competition in that conference.
Always. Parma Western, same thing with boys and girls tennis. They've kind of been the class of the conference for the last several years, but they did graduate a large amount of seniors off of last year's team, but they always reload. So we know that they'll be real strong, but we'll give them our best shot. And then teams 2 through 5 are all going to be right there. If we play well throughout the conference, we could finish in 2nd place. If we don't play well on those nights, we could end up in 5th because teams like Marshall, a very veteran team, Harper Creek's got a lot of great young talent. Jackson Northwest, always a solid team that we love to play against. So it's going to be a tough road for us, but we're looking forward to the challenge.
Well, we look forward to following your kids all year. It looks like it's going to be a fun, exciting season for Coldwater tennis, and we look forward to watching and enjoying the progress.
Awesome. Thank you, guys, and thank you for covering our team.
All right, Nathan Waterbury. He is the head tennis coach at Coldwater High School. Coach's Corner on a Friday has been brought to you by Great Lakes Chiropractic on AM 1590 and FM 95.5 WTVB.